executive session? 7 o'clock, that sounds good.
Yes, it's perfect. All right, we back rolling?
Yes.
All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All right, we'll move into a work session. I put this on the agenda just to get us chatting about some ideas, any kind of brainstorming that we can do, target different projects, anything that we can do viable. I know last year we looked at the option of making a move with Butterball. We had some things rolling, and then obviously the fate of that is where it is. So small, large, anything. If y'all have things y'all would like to add.
We certainly need an opportunity to raise some money, right? So Shannon and I are thinking of some ways that we can add some sort of events that would benefit the DDA, and the money would go to the DDA. We're looking at that. Anything to put money in the bank, we certainly need that. I am going to meet with Sarah, who's our deputy city manager, and Jennifer Hallman, who is our CFO, and discuss the loan situation that we're in and how that breaks down. And I may have one of them come and speak at the next meeting, maybe Sarah, just because she was there from the beginning of that and how that transpired. I don't know the background and the history with that. I know Mr. Peabody knows a little bit, but we want to get that situated so we know where we are financially with that $100,000 loan and how that took place and when that took place.
50 or 100?
It wasn't 100.
It was 50.
Was it 50? It was more than 50.
Yeah, I think it was maybe 75.
Yeah.
No, I think it is 50 because it was knocked
I
down to
thought it was
49.
50.
It's actually
Yeah.
49 now.
Is it 49? Okay.
40, yeah, it was 50 and then $1,000 of that we get every year. Our big money maker, that $1,000 we get from the billboard every year.
Okay.
Our only money coming in.
So
went towards it.
49,000
Yeah, so I think
regardless.
it's
We still owe money
49,000.
that we've got to pay back to the city. And
That will happen.
Sandy, there's some background there. The DDA took a loan at some point from the city to buy real estate, and we at some point will have to pay the city back for that, and we're trying to figure out how we go about that. So that's why I'm meeting with Jennifer and Sarah to kind of go over that, the loan breakdown, how that transpired, the history behind it, so that we have an understanding that in February, this is what we owe, this is what we got to do to pay it back, and then figure out how we, for future, can purchase real estate of our own, because that is the major responsibility of the DDA, is to purchase real estate. That's why I feel like you'll be an asset to us, not just for that, many other things, but you have that real estate background and you can help us figure our way around and how we can start moving forward for that goal.
And that the loan started at 50 in August of 15, so
Okay.
well before anybody here was involved.
Right.
But now it's down to 49.
So,
And Mr. Peabody, you get audited for that, right? As far as the DDA's financials every year?
It's part of the city audit every year.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what y'all are thinking, Janet, about events, but I still love the idea of food trucks. I think we need that option. You know, we're limited to Monday night with our current code that's in effect with that. So could we do something? Douglasville several years ago did, I think it was Wednesday nights, they did food trucks during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets miserably hot during the summer, so could we do spring? We don't want to take away from the summer concert series that y'all
Right.
put on, so.
Yeah, we
do
could,
food
and
trucks?
Shannon brought up some ideas for that, as far as having like a beer truck out here, because it's a
Entertainment.
financial district. I'm thinking New York entertainment district.
Yeah.
So we could certainly do that, and we'll come up with some stuff.
But if we just did 4 Mondays in April or whatever, stick with
Correct.
that, what we have to do. But if we advertise it, I think we could really do that and somehow have the proceeds go, or something that where DDA can still benefit from that.
Yeah, and I think in our ordinance now, it says Mondays,
Yeah.
so we would have to get that changed if we do anything other than Monday, and it may just, come down to a special event permit or something, but
Okay.
that would certainly be a way to raise some money.
You time food trucks with a pop-up concert or something?
We could.
Yeah, even if you just had a DJ and had music playing, it's just a good event. I mean, I love, Douglasville did it 2 years at night or afternoon or evening. I think they were 6:30, 7 o'clock, but then they moved it to lunchtime, and if you've got a business, you can't go at lunchtime. So,
Right. And certainly a DJ would be less expensive than a band.
Yeah, true. So just a thought with that. I love food trucks. So, I mean, I'm just a fan.
Right. So certainly we need to get some money going.
Yeah.
For sure. Now that Better Balls is, going to be torn down, I'm not sure what's going to go there for a future. I'm not sure what the city's, has in mind for that property. They are going to tear down the duplex as well. So, for future, we'll keep our eyes and ears open for that.
Is
Can I
that,
ask a question about
Yes,
that?
ma'am.
Because I don't know any, I mean, I've read some of the things that I've seen about it, but, so, the gentleman that spoke about it said that there was some soil contamination as well.
We actually have, so Christopher Pike, who was here before us and the Economic Development Director, has all of that where he had all that done and it passed. Now, where that's at, it should be at City Hall. I'm not sure where it's at. Stacy might have that information. The city clerk at one time had that information, but all that was done before Chris moved forward with anything as far as the roof and all that done. They did all that, what's it called? Testing, EPD? EPA testing.
Yeah.
I know he did a soil, because that was the biggest thing is we can't move forward with anything with that building or put a roof on it or anything until we get all that, the okay from that. And my understanding is that he did. So,
I also understood
Somebody's
that
gotta
any asbestos was not in a frangible state.
correct.
So that's really a non-issue unless you go for demolition or reconstruction of something that has asbestos. But if you leave it alone,
Right.
it's not an issue.
And there is, of course, with everything that was built back at the time, there was lead paint, right? That's just standard operating for that time.
For the most part.
So there was lead paint there, and I know that. But as far as asbestos or whatever, my understanding is that they got the okay to move forward.
In demo. Who is responsible for paying for the demo?
The city will pay for that.
Okay, so it really that's confusing to me. If they've transferred the property to you, are they talking about just the land?
I'm not sure that the property has been transferred to us.
That's
Okay,
what
well,
I was gonna
would
ask.
certainly hope that they had not.
I don't think they
I
had.
don't,
You-
I don't
Mhm.
think they did.
You don't really want to have to deal with that.
No, I don't think it was ever transferred to the DDA.
that was going to be my question of, okay, if that's torn down and they did transfer the property to us, then
No,
Does that give
it's
us
under the
property?
city because we owe them money. So why would they transfer us the property if we owe them money? Yeah, it's not under the DDA.
So that's good.
Mhm.
any other ideas that we can target that would help to increase some revenue for DDA? Or just in general to help the DDA?
Where it may be a situation where we have to get seed money or something, to initially purchase the property, if we had something in mind through the city and pay that back. There's ways and loans that we can get. I'm sure there's some sort of grants that we can get. But I think that would be a first step is to locate a piece of real estate that we could potentially purchase. That's going to get us going where we need to go because we need to be collecting rent money.
Correct. Did you ever, I know at one point you mentioned maybe having the financial person that you knew that helps with some of the funding for agencies? perhaps come up here?
Yes, we
For
certainly can
Renee.
set up somebody to come out here and talk about it. I would love to get Dan McRae out here.
Yeah.
Dan's kind of a busy guy, but I would love to have him come out here and he could tell us all about it.
Okay. So he knows about the funding options as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the state expert on TADS.
Yep. And DDA.
Wow, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might need to have a conversation with him.
So I'm happy to send him an email. And the beautiful thing about Dan is anytime I've ever sent Dan an email over the years, he responds to me in less than 20 minutes. So he's very good at that. So
Could
I'm
we
sure
even
if
do
he's
like a
available,
Zoom?
I'll just throw out the February date
Yeah.
of the meeting and see if he would be able to come in.
Or even if he couldn't come, if he wanted to Zoom in.
Sure.
You're so
Yeah,
skilled at
either
Zoom.
way.
One
Looks
other-
like we'll be Zooming for
Since
a
we're
minute.
bouncing around ideas, one other idea I wanted to talk about was replacing our attorney, because she's with the same firm as the city's attorney, and I talked to a DDA expert, and he said he would never have anyone from the same firm doing both of those jobs.
Well, my concern is
So,
he's not here, so.
well, I didn't want to say anything about that, but just for other reasons, I think we should look into, I've been trying to get that done ever since I've been on the DDA. Nobody will listen to me. So
Okay.
maybe now we've got people that'll listen.
How do we go about that if we wanted to? I mean, is she
I
under
can ask
contract?
Dan.
Can we find out
Yeah.
contract issues?
We
or-
do pay her. I'm not sure if there's a contract in place. She
As far
does
as
get
term.
payment, but I can ask
Mhm.
Dan about that as well.
And we don't pay her very much. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's not,
In fact, I have the bill that I gave to you for it.
yeah, it's,
Minimal. It's not a lot.
Who is our attorney?
Stacy Blackman, she is with Tysinger Vance, and our city attorney is David Mecklin, and he is also with Tysinger Vance.
Mhm.
but because sometimes we're going to be at odds with the city.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully we won't, but sometimes that'll happen, and so we'll need non-biased opinion. I don't know other attorneys around here that do this kind of work, but
It's certainly not like standard on their standard list of duties. So that we'll have to ask around.
and it's not like we'd be a huge client, because,
Correct.
you know, an hour a month is not a big
No,
bill,
no.
so. But I definitely want to look into this. I guess first we should look to see what other attorneys are out there that do this kind of work,
Yes. I'll ask Dan if he is familiar with,
so then we could have somebody in mind
sure.
as a replacement.
Okay.
Does our attorney represent us in all aspects, so real estate as well, she would, or whomever perspective? Okay.
Yes.
We are beating a dead horse. We know we need income. We got to get properties, so I think that's the big takeaway
Mm-hmm.
for that, so.
There's not a ton of inventory in Villa Rica from a commercial standpoint. We know that.
There has been activity down the road, though. They've been cleaning out.
Yes, but
Different subject. Okay.
Is it in the downtown development area?
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of that, is there a map or something you can provide to me with that, or whatever, the boundaries?
Yes.
That I know exactly where we're talking about.
Right. Yes, we can do that. And also, Sandy, within the first year of you being on the board, you'll do DDA 101 training, which we pay for that. And I think they're still I think they're still keeping that online. Used to, you would have to go somewhere and do that, but I think it's still available online with everything going on. So I have emailed to see when they're going to do some DDA trainings, and I'll let you know what I come up with, and I'll send you those dates, and you can just kind of pick a date that you want to do it and let me know, and then we'll give you the payment information.
Okay, no
And
problem.
it's actually very good training.
It's very good.
I enjoyed it.
Well, good.
And there's also an advanced DDA training that you guys could do too, that the state offers. It's not as available as the 101. They don't offer it as often. I think they actually offer that at the Georgia Downtown Conference that Shannon and I do in August. I think it's in Macon this year. I'm not, yeah, I think it's in Macon this year, but of course we would pay to have you go down, stay overnight, take the test, and come back. They normally do it on a Friday, like the last day of the conference. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. But I think the virtual is still very much an option for that.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else to add? Perfect. Do we need to adjourn again, or we've already adjourned? This is just a work session.
Move to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor?
Ellen, we're adjourning. Can you hear us?
And Ellen also said, tell everyone I said thank you. She said that about 20 minutes ago.
So all in favor, Ellen?
There you go. I can hear you, Ellen. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Ellen.
We'll see you later.
Stay warm in Wisconsin.
But I'm actually flying out right now.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Everybody just looked at me when I said I voted to adjourn with y'all.